Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Alright, let's get straight into it. With this show giving me so many vibes of just being so mysterious and not only giving us some more explanation behind where our main character kind of has some of his gripes, or even just what he has left behind to be in this agency that pretty much deals in anything that makes them money. So overall, from what I can tell, he definitely doesn't enjoy, what he does, but at the same time, he didn't really have much after the incident that happened with these kids that we just learned about, and it made sense to give us a somewhat, cleared up of his story because we didn't really have anything. We had the overall notion that whatever happened to, him just put him in this situation. That's about as far as it went. But now that we know that he's probably been, you know, holding himself accountable for those things that had occurred back in the past with these kids and him giving the ticket to all of them to be able to go to the circus and enjoy themselves, it really messed him up psychologically to know that if maybe he didn't send them out there like that, that would have never happened. That would have never occurred, or maybe something completely different may have happened. So it's one of those things where you kind of just get to see uh, what your mistakes were. Who did you trust too much? For instance, the old man that pretty much gave him the spot and stuff like that didn't even care what happened to them. He was pretty much going to, you know, do whatever needs to be possible to keep himself afloat, and he didn't even care what happened to the kids after a certain point of time. So it just comes down to, what were all the signs that you missed, and if you missed all those signs, how could you prevent that from happening again? And it doesn't look like he really has the answer for that. So he just goes along with this memory, with this lost place, knowing that whoever is the owner of it has to release their will, or they have to not be regretting anything anymore. And for some reason, seeing him reach out to this woman that he really wanted to stop from even going to the circus and stuff like that, that was really the opening to what that girl wanted for them in the first place, was to have them married. I mean, even all the other kids were kind of, egging them on or just like teasing about it and stuff. As in, this happens probably a lot with them getting caught in awkward situations like this further in the past than when this storyline actually takes place, because we don't get to see everything. It's more of just like the time that she created was a little bit before the time they go out and the bad stuff, the loss actually happens. So very, very sad stuff there, but it's kind of crazy to think that you got to relive a moment in your life and do as little as you can, to try to help, and come to find out it really did help. It really helped this young girl get to go forward with her life and not be so regretful of thinking of what could have been with those two and stuff like that. So this was a really weird one, to be fair. Like, to think that the regret came from someone else other than the person, like from himself, or like the girl he was supposedly gonna be with. It came from one of the kids wanting, them to have those two like experience love together, or at least have a better understanding of each other and want to be with each other in a sense. So I don't know. I think this episode definitely has some stuff it left out in the overall grand scheme of making it, even more emotional and stuff, because it just with the girl that we learn about, that is the one that we wanted to help, and so this situation could pass. She didn't even really get to do it. She walked up and gave some flowers to the guy, and that was about it. Like what was her what was her true meaning? Why was she in that position that she was in? And by doing what he did, why was that all she wanted? Like why was that enough to fix it all and be the end all be all? So they don't really answer any of those questions, but it's fine because I don't think they really planned to, with how this episode was kind of orchestrated. Like they didn't even talk to the person at all that was the main reason this was happening. And not only that, we learn after the fact that um, whoever is, uh, you know, was going to be the abuser, the whole case that they were there for in the first place, it looks like there was an instance where that could have started to be true, and that the rumors were true, and for some reason they just didn't know about it as he was living there, but he did find out the hard way. So overall, this episode was definitely just like a roller coaster of what the heck happened and why did it happen type of episode. So it was definitely needed, and I like just knowing what to expect further on in the future. I'm trying to die because I want another round. Okay. But overall, I want to at least put out there that whenever we see these types of characters really going all out and they show us that, if they could change what they did wrong, they would, it just kind of gives you that feeling of what is the story allowing, why are they allowing this to be shown? Why is this happening? And if it's all happening for a reason, what will be the reason for him, seeing his past, seeing that the lost are still like almost dang there. For instance, this girl that he just saw, she was practically alive, and she wanted to see a better outcome than she actually experienced, and that's what she got, and that was all she wanted. So it's like, what granted her that, you know ability to be able to do that, and that some of the other people aren't. Like, why isn't all over the whole entire world, every single person that got lost, uh, why aren't they getting these types of, like their own little timelines, or time messes up, like, their own areas of this, and they get to experience their regrets and stuff. It feels like only certain people get that type of treatment. So really interested to see what you guys are feeling about this show overall, or if you dropped it and don't really care anymore about it. What is your overall take on it? And what did you like about this episode slash series that's been going on for what, like 6 episodes, 7 episodes now? It's going pretty long. Without it's being consistent, unlike some shows that I've seen pop up and then disappear. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I hope you guys definitely are having an awesome one. I will try to get something out later today for sure. But for now, I'll just have these 2 videos out. If you already checked out Attack on Titan, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that. And yeah, I expect to have a good week of animes coming out pretty soon here. So let's get into it. With that being said, peace.